Manny Pacquiao wasn't born into greatness, he fought for it. Born Emmanuel Dapadran Pacquiao in Cabal, Bukidnon, and raised in the tough streets of General Santos, Philippines, his childhood was anything but easy. His parents, Rosalio Pacquiao and Dionysia Dapadran, split when he was just a sixth grader, leaving young Manny to face life's hardships head-on. The fourth of six children, he quickly learned that survival wasn't a given, it was something you had to fight for. By the time he was 14, Pacquiao was on his own, navigating the harsh reality of Manila streets. He worked construction jobs, often forced to choose between eating and sending money back home to his mother. School took a back seat to survival. He finished elementary school, but had to abandon high school, driven by an urgency few could understand, an urgency to fight his way out of poverty. It was his maternal uncle, Sardo Mejia, who introduced him to boxing when he was just 12. A single moment changed everything, watching Mike Tyson lose to Buster Douglas in 1990. That night, a fire ignited in young Manny. Boxing wasn't just a sport, it was his way out. His uncle trained him in a makeshift gym at home, and within 6 months, he was already stepping into the ring, fighting in local parks, and taking on opponents far beyond his weight class. He fought not for glory, but because he had to. By 15, Manny was the best junior boxer in the southern Philippines. At 16, he turned professional, stepping into the ring as a junior flyweight. Every punch he threw carried the weight of his past. Every victory a step further from the struggles of his childhood. Then, on December 4th, 1998, at just 19 years old, he did what once seemed impossible. He won his first major title, the WBC Flyweight Championship. It was the moment that turned the hungry street kid into a rising legend. Looking back, Pacquiao once said, "Many of you know me as a legendary boxer, but before that, I was just a kid trying to survive. I had nothing, no one to depend on but myself. Boxing became my way out, my way to keep my family alive." And from that moment on, the world would never forget the name Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao never fought in the Olympics, but in 2008, he stepped onto the grand stage in Beijing in a different way, leading his country. As the Philippine delegation's flag bearer, Pacquiao became the first non-Olympian in history to carry the nation's colors at the Summer Games opening ceremony. Originally, that honor belonged to champion swimmer Miguel Molina, but at the request of then-President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, the role was passed to Pacquiao, a true testament to his status as a national icon. Years later, in 2016, the door finally opened for professional boxers to compete in the Olympics for the first time. At 37, Pacquiao had the chance to fight for an Olympic gold medal, but he chose to step aside. When 2024 came around, he made his desire to compete known, but at 45, he was ruled ineligible due to the 40-year age limit. The Philippine Olympic Committee petitioned on his behalf, but the International Olympic Committee stood firm. The dream of Olympic gold would remain out of reach. But Pacquiao's achievements weren't measured in Olympic medals, they were measured in world titles, sold-out arenas, and staggering paychecks. In 2009, Forbes ranked him as the 6th highest-paid athlete in the world, pulling in $40 million, tying with NBA superstar LeBron James and golf legend Phil Mickelson. A year later, he climbed to 8th place with $42 million. By 2010, ESPN magazine listed him among the highest-earning athletes globally, alongside baseball star Alex Rodriguez. Pacquiao wasn't just a boxer, he was a man who lived and breathed competition. In 2014, he set his sights on professional basketball, a lifelong passion of his. He announced his intention to join the Philippine Basketball Association, PBA, as the playing coach of the Kia Motors basketball team. As head coach, he made sure no other team drafted him, selecting himself 11th overall in the first round of the 2014 PBA draft, making history as the league's oldest rookie. His love for basketball had long been evident. Before his PBA days, the Boston Celtics made him an honorary member, and he built friendships with NBA legends like Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. Rising NBA star Karl-Anthony Towns called him a legend, and alongside Klay Thompson, even visited him during training. On September 4th, 2014, Pacquiao took his love for the game to another level, training with the Golden State Warriors. Then, on February 18th, 2015, he stepped onto the court for his PBA debut. scoring a single point in Kia's shocking 95-84 victory over powerhouse Pure Foods. But not everyone was impressed. Former NBA player Daniel Orton, playing for Pure Foods at the time, didn't hold back, saying, "Pacquiao, playing is a joke. A professional boxer? Sure. Congressman? Fine. But a professional basketball player? Seriously." Orton's words cost him. The PBA commissioner fined him, and just days later, he was cut from the team. Meanwhile, Pacquiao continued making his mark, later becoming a team owner in the ASEAN Basketball League. For Manny Pacquiao, life was never just about boxing. Whether it was carrying the Philippine flag, climbing the ranks of the world's richest athletes, or proving doubters wrong on the basketball court, he always found a way to fight and win. Manny Pacquiao's story was never just about boxing. He wasn't content with being one of the greatest fighters to ever step into the ring. He wanted to compete, to lead, and to leave a mark in every field he entered. On October 25, 2015, Pacquiao added another milestone to his basketball journey, scoring his first field goal in the Philippine Basketball Association, PBA. It was a small moment in a 108-94 loss to rain or shine, but for him, it was just another fight to win. The following year, on August 21, 2016, he hit a career-high 4 points in a 97-88 victory over Blackwater, sinking the first three-pointer of his career. But Pacquiao wasn't just content with playing. In 2017, he founded the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, MPBL, a semi-professional league that would later turn fully professional in 2022. Though he officially retired from playing in 2018 after just 10 games, his impact on Philippine basketball remained strong. Boxing and basketball weren't enough. Pacquiao had bigger battles to fight. In 2007, he announced his first run for public office, campaigning for a seat in the House of Representatives to represent South Cotabato. But the people weren't ready to see him as anything other than their boxing hero. He lost to the incumbent, Darlene Ananino Custodio, who summed it up: "People weren't prepared to lose him as their boxing icon." That loss didn't stop him. In 2010, Pacquiao tried again, this time in Sarangani, the hometown of his wife, Jinky. This time, the people rallied behind him. He crushed the powerful Kayongbian clan, who had ruled the province for over 30 years, winning by a landslide. That same year, he delivered a speech on human trafficking that won praise, but his stance on the controversial reproductive health bill exposed gaps in his political knowledge. Still, Pacquiao pressed on. He was re-elected in 2013, running unopposed. His wife Jinky also won as vice governor, cementing their political influence. But there was a problem: his commitments outside of politics took a toll. He became the most absent congressman, attending just one session in the final leg of his term. In 6 years, he filed fewer than 20 bills, and none moved beyond the committee stage. That didn't stop him from aiming higher. In 2015, he officially announced his run for the Senate. Despite criticism over his attendance record, he won big, securing over 16 million votes and finishing in 7th place. Pacquiao's time in the Senate was marked by big moves and bigger controversies. In 2016, he aligned himself with President Rodrigo Duterte's government and played a key role in removing Duterte critic Leila de Lima from the Senate Justice Committee. Later, he defended then Davao City Vice Mayor Paulo Duterte from drug smuggling allegations, staying loyal to the administration's stance. By 2018, Pacquiao had filed 31 Senate bills, but his attendance issues continued. Despite being the senator with the worst attendance record, he still managed to pass 4 laws. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Pacquiao put politics aside and used his global connections for good. Partnering with Alibaba co-founder Jack Ma, he helped bring 50,000 test kits to the Philippines. But politics can be as brutal as boxing. In 2020, he became the acting president of PDP, Laban, the ruling party. However, internal conflicts led to a power struggle, and by 2021, he was ousted by rival party members in a disputed vote. Pacquiao's political journey was filled with highs and lows. In 2021, he proposed a Philippine Boxing and Combat Sports Commission, but his timing was questioned. Why push for this in the middle of the pandemic? When challenged in a Senate debate, he struggled, appearing to be coached by advisors while facing veteran Senator Franklin Dryland. In 2022, He made headlines again by calling for the release of Senator Layla de Lima, who had been detained for 5 years. This was a surprising turn, considering he had once been vocal about her alleged involvement in drug-related activities. Through victories and defeats, inside and outside the ring, Manny Pacquiao's life remained a testament to resilience. He had fought battles in sports, in politics, and in life itself, never backing down, always swinging for something greater. By June 2020, whispers of Manny Pacquiao's next big fight weren't about boxing, they were about politics. His former promoter, Bob Arum, let the cat out of the bag, recalling a conversation where Pacquiao confidently declared, "Bob, I'm going to run in 2022. And when I win, I want you there at my inauguration." That single statement sent shockwaves through the political landscape, fueling speculation that the boxing legend was ready to step into the biggest ring of them all, the presidential race. Fast forward to June 2021, and Pacquiao was no longer just hinting at leadership, he was speaking out. He called out then-President Duterte for being too soft on China's aggressive claims in the South China Sea. Duterte fired back, dismissing Pacquiao's understanding of foreign policy. But the real heat came when Pacquiao accused the administration of corruption. Duterte didn't take kindly to it, daring him to name names or risk a political war. Then came the night of August 21st, 2021. Pacquiao had just lost his final boxing match against Denis Yugas. When asked if he'd trade the ring for the presidency, he dodged the question. But a month later, there was no dodging. On September 19th, he officially announced his bid for president. By October 1st, he was on the ballot under Promby, severing his ties with the PDP Labour Party. His campaign was built on two promises: fighting corruption and building homes for the poor. But as the months passed, the polls told a harsh truth: he was struggling. His numbers kept slipping, ranking 4th or 5th, even dropping to just 1.8% in one survey. Then, in March 2022, as frontrunner Bongbong Marcos faced controversy over 200 billion Cuban pesos in unpaid estate taxes, Pacquiao saw an opening. He challenged Marcos to a one-on-one debate and fired back at critics who questioned his intelligence, saying, "The dumbest people in this country are those who would vote for a plum." His words were bold, but they weren't enough. On Election Day, Pacquiao placed third with roughly 4 million votes. The dream of becoming president was over. But politics was just one chapter in the Pacquiao story. Fame had made him more than just a boxer. It had turned him into an all-around entertainer. Acting, hosting, even singing, he tried it all. In 2005, he landed his first lead role in Licenciado Cameo, License Fist, a film that played off his boxing roots. More acting gigs followed, including Todo y Bateau and Show Me to Manny, where he starred alongside Marian Rivera. He even had his own game show, Manny Mini Prizes, handing out rewards to lucky fans. Manny Pacquiao had just stepped out of the ring after dominating Brandon Rios. His victories still fresh, his fist still carrying the weight of battle. But back home in the Philippines, a different kind of fight was waiting, one that couldn't be won with punches. On November 26, 2013, just days after his triumph, the Philippine Bureau of Internal Revenue, BR, hit him with a crushing blow. A freeze order on all his bank accounts. The charge? Allegedly failing to pay 2.2 billion Cuban pesos in taxes from his U.S. fights in 2008 and 2009. The next day, things got worse. His properties were locked down too. It was a financial chokehold, and Pacquiao wasn't going down without a fight. Standing before the press, he held up documents proving that his promoter had already paid taxes to the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, IRS. Even a letter from Bob Arum backed his case. But the BIR wouldn't budge. Years later, in 2017, now a senator, Pacquiao once again tried to settle the matter. The government insisted regardless of what he had paid in the U.S. They still wanted their cut. But controversy wasn't done with him yet. In February 2016, while running for a Senate seat, Pacquiao made a statement that would shake his reputation beyond the boxing world. In a video, he spoke about same-sex marriage, saying that even animals didn't engage in such relationships. His words spread like wildfire, drawing sharp criticism from LGBTQ+ advocates and celebrities. The backlash was immediate. Nike, a longtime sponsor, wasted no time cutting ties, calling his remarks abhorrent. The Grove shopping mall in Los Angeles went a step further, banning him entirely. Realizing the storm he had stirred, Pacquiao apologized, clarifying that while he remained firm in his Christian beliefs, he wasn't condemning gay individuals, only the act of marriage itself. But the damage had been done. Then, in 2021, another legal battle loomed. Pacquiao had signed an exclusive management deal with Paradigm Sports Management, but when they found out he was negotiating fights through another agency, they took him to court. In May 2023, the verdict came down hard. Pacquiao was ordered to pay $5.1 million, plus at least $2 million in attorney fees, all accumulating interest. It seemed like another financial uppercut, but just when it looked like he was down for the count, fate had other plans. In August 2024, a major twist in the case emerged. The court overturned the decision. Evidence showed that Audiator, the man who signed the contract with Pacquiao, didn't even have the proper management license under California law. With that revelation, the lawsuit was wiped clean. Through every knockout punch life has thrown at him, whether in the ring, in politics, or in the courtroom, Manny Pacquiao has always found a way to keep standing. The fight is never over until the final bell rings. In music, Pacquiao was no stranger to the microphone. He recorded songs for his fights, with some of his albums even hitting platinum status in the Philippines. His biggest hit, Para Sa'yo Ang Laban, became an anthem. In 2009, he surprised American audiences by covering Sometimes When We Touch on Jimmy Kimmel Live. It wasn't just a one-time thing, he came back twice more, even landing a song on the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart in 2011. His fame reached Canadian rapper Drake, who impersonated him in a parody. Pacquiao responded with another song, proving that he could take a joke. But by 2015, even Pacquiao knew his limits. After recording his entrance song for the Floyd Mayweather fight, he announced his retirement from music with a simple, self-aware statement: "I love music, but music is not for me." Through victories and defeats, in the ring and beyond, Manny Pacquiao's life has never been ordinary. Whether he was throwing punches, making laws, or singing ballads, he always gave it his all because, in the end, the fight has never just been for himself. It has always been for the people. Manny Pacquiao's story isn't just about boxing titles, political battles, or personal trials. It's about resilience. From a hungry kid in General Santos to a global icon, he has fought in every arena life placed him in. Whether inside the ring, in the Senate, or at home with his family, Pacquiao has always stood his ground. Through victories and defeats, praises and controversies, he remains what he's always been: a fighter. And even as the gloves come off, the fight in him never fades.